Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Plenty of cricket to discuss today. It was India versus Sri Lanka series kicking off, the T20 series and the PSL as well. Yesterday, Multan had qualified for the finals, and today the Lahore were waiting to play either Islamabad or Peshawar, and it's Islamabad who won the eliminator, and they're going to play Lahore tomorrow, and the winner will be in the final. Let's start off with the India Sri Lanka game. I think a walk in the park for India, starting from ball one. Sri Lanka, the only thing they could win today was the toss. After that, it all went the south for Sri Lanka, and India dominated. The Mumbai Indians pairing coming out to bat, opening the batting, Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan putting up a brilliant 100-run partnership. There was news in the just before the match started that Gaikwad picked up an injury. He tested it out in the nets, and you could see that he wasn't fit, so he didn't play. Sanju Samson got the call up. Deepak Huda also got his India debut, and great for him. Congratulations to him. But yeah, it was the Mumbai Indians pair, Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, setting up the platform. Ishan Kishan, in particular, very aggressive, very good through the offside and the leg side. I think he played some really good shots. He likes the ball coming onto the bat. There was a bit of stop start in this pitch, but I think India had the best of the conditions initially, and it did get to slow down after. So Ishan Kishan really made most of it, especially the new ball. I think it was a very, very good innings. Along with Rohit Sharma, again looked very fluent, but for Ishan Kishan, it'll give him that confidence to, continue to excel. These are the kind of series you want to do well, and you want to really, set your position. Even if the likes of KL Rahul are coming back and everything, if you can make an impression now, you'll always be there in and around the team. If you then after that, if you see Shreyas Iyer, he played the perfect finishing role. He came at number three, but it was a number five kind of role today, just because there's a few overs left. I think he came in the 15th, 14th over, and the way he batted was excellent. 57 of 28, strike rate of 203, just exactly the finish they wanted from Shreyas Iyer. We've seen Surya Kumar being finishing games off for India like wonderfully well, and there was putting pressure on Shreyas Iyer, I think, and today he showed that he can also do that. Even the fact that he came in number three, he came and finished off the innings. It'll give him a lot of confidence from there. I think Sri Lanka with the ball, they were poor. It's coming straight from Australia. It's like the jet lag is still it's still there. It hasn't set in yet, and they don't look like a team that is going to cause India problems. Hasaranga not there. Thiksan also I didn't play, if I'm not mistaken. So they're missing quite a few good players, and it's making a big difference. Especially someone like a Hasaranga makes a world of difference, I feel, and him not being there. Even Rajapaksa, I think he's injured. So plenty of players who played well in the T20 World Cup are not there in this tour, and I think that makes India's life a bit easier. And for Sri Lanka, it makes it tougher. The challenges will be more, and it'll be difficult for them to come back into the series otherwise, because there will be challenges to go from Sri Lanka's point of view. From India's point of view, I think job well done. You can only beat what's in front of you. They were disciplined, they were professional from minute one, whether it was the bat or the ball. If you look at the bowling performance, everyone contributing. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, again, sublime with the ball. He's coming back into form slowly. Very good for him. 2 overs, 9 runs, 2 wickets. Jasprit Bumrah back in action. Good to see him there as well. And then the spinners did the job. If you look at Chahal and Jadeja both picking up wickets, and Venkatesh Iyer, Harshal Patel slotting in. Venkatesh Iyer picked up a couple of wickets as well, and Harshal Patel economy of just 5. So everyone contributing with the ball. Good to see from India's point of view. I like to see Deepak Huda roll his arm over. I was very happy with that. I think it just gives you that extra option. Yes, he went for 24 in his 3 overs, slightly expensive, but you want to see some of your batsmen chip in with the ball. It just gives the captain some option, and it's good to see Rohit Sharma experimenting with all these players, and seeing the different combinations. You always want to have players who can contribute with both sides. And everyone is saying that KL Rahul will come into the side, Kohli will come into the side, someone like even a Siraj Shami might come into the side, but at the same time, you don't know who's going to be fit or who's not going to be fit in this COVID world we live in right now, and bio bubbles and everything. We don't exactly know who's going to be fit in that World Cup, right? It's not like before where your majority who's going to play and everything. In this kind of world, there's a lot of uncertainty. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. I think that's why from squad point of view, it's just good to be flexible, good to give people chances, and good to have backup, because you can be called upon at any time. We saw that in that India Australia series, where someone like a Natarajan was there as a net bowler, contributed in the last test match, and it was a series win. Even Washington Sundar was there like that. He was just suddenly called up, and I think that's what it is in these kind of times that we live in, you just have to be, should have all options available. And I think it's good for India to have a win under the belt. But yes, the Sri Lankan team was not competitive at all. At least with West Indies, we saw moments where West Indies could have won the game. They just couldn't clinch that winning moment. But for Sri Lanka, I think it was a very, very big mountain to climb. Let's see what happens. There's still two T20s to go, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. Back to back, pressure will be on Sri Lanka. They'll want to at least perform better. Even if they don't win, they want to put a better performance there. I think the one positive light was Sri Lanka scoring a 50. Although it was just a 47 deliveries, him and Karuna Ratnesh showed that they can hit a few boundaries. Even Dushaman Chamira, he also hit a few boundaries. So there are players who can play there, and it's just about getting the rhythm and trying to put pressure on India. Sometimes you go over aggressive, you lose a lot of wickets. Sometimes you go defensive and lose wickets as well. So to find that right combination, and I think one thing that they can do is try to put pressure. On the new ball bowlers. It's very difficult to say, like, someone like a Bumrah and Bhuvi, but I think as the ball gets older, the spinners also come into play. It becomes difficult. So I think if you put pressure on the new ball bowlers, it makes Rohit Sharma do something a bit different in that way, I feel. So maybe that's how Sri Lanka can approach it. But from India, more of the same. That's what they would like to see. We would have liked to see Gaikwad today as well. Just unfortunately, he has been injured. Wishing him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can come back into the team. Just when he got a chance, he's got injured now, and yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's how life goes. And I got my guest joining me today. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Sorry, got stuck in work.
No, no, take your time, man. I was just started, and I was just giving the information about the India Sri Lanka game. Take your time, no stress that way. But yeah, I was just gonna ask you, did you enjoy the game?
Oh, it was a good game. Early morning, waking up, looking at Rohit Sharma and Nishan, the Mumbai lads batting
Yeah.
together. They were off to a flyer, man. 111 partnership hasn't been like that for quite a while,
Mm.
especially with the lineups keep changing and stuff. So it was a good start, and they just capitalized from there. And it was an interesting move to bring Jadeja in two down, which I thought was interesting, just so that he gets some game time because he's been out with injury and stuff. So overall, it was a great batting performance. And if you look at the bowling, uh, the interesting part about the bowling was they took those early wickets. They knew they had built the pressure. They were giving chances to the bowlers that haven't been consistently bowling and holding back the bowlers that have been consistently bowling and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone like Harshal Patel, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, they even played in the West Indies series, so they
Mm.
held them back and then gave chances to like Ravindra Jadeja, Venkatesh Iyer, and Huda and stuff, so that they get that game time as well. So that was an interesting call by Rohit in that sense. I don't know if it was intentional or it just panned out that way because this was more of a spinner wicket than a fast bowler wicket, and we saw how the ball was spinning. Even Jadeja was spinning, so that was something that was out of the blue kind of thing.
Yeah, I even heard Ishan Kishan say on the step mic, he told Jadeja that, like, that quicker one is turning, so bowl it.
Yeah,
And I think a couple of balls after he got that stumping, so it was turning, and maybe that's why they tried Deepak Huda. I think I was very excited to see that, just because to see a batsman, an Indian batsman
yeah,
bowl has been very rare these days, and I think it's very important. And I was just mentioning before, with the World Cup coming up, you don't know who's going to be fit, who's not going to be fit, right? So
exactly.
you're going to try all your options and
Yeah,
see what's there. And India's always been troubled with that extra part timer, and which wasn't a problem before, but ever since their bowling has been so good, they're just
yeah.
missing that sixth bowler, and finally they do have some options they can try out now.
Yeah, with Venkatesh Iyer, Huda, they are getting those options as well as if you see Shardul Thakur and Deepak Chahar also give those kind of batting options as well as a bowler, right? So
Yeah.
those are some interesting players to actually keep in the team because that improves your team combination as well as improves your chances in terms of giving you a stronger batting lineup and a good enough bowling lineup as well.
Yeah, 100%. And Bhuvneshwar looking in good form, like you said. Were you just surprised that someone like a Bishnoi didn't play? Because I feel that he needs that confidence. I know that
Yeah.
again with Chahal, it's also that he was dropped for the T20 World Cup, but I just feel that you've seen Chahal play. Someone like a Bishnoi is trying to gather rhythm.
It, it was an interesting move. Bishnoi performed all three games. He was like man of the match in a couple of games there as well. And bringing him for like Huda coming in for him, it was an interesting move. at the end of the day, it paved out like it paid out for India itself, right? So that's the goal that they
Yeah.
have set for themselves to try out these players and stuff. But it was hard luck for him to not be in the team after performing so well in that series.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, overall, like you said, good to see the Mumbai boys performing. And from Shreyas Iyer's point of view, he came at number three, but he played that finishing role, right? That number five role,
Yeah,
and he's been in competition with Surya Kumar, so it's been good to see him perform like that. But I just feel that Sri Lanka missing key players. So are India, but for Sri Lanka, it's really hurting them. The likes of Raja Paksa not there, Hasuranga not there, and I think Thiksan also didn't play today. So there's plenty of options that they had that they relied on
yeah,
in the T20 World Cup, which we didn't see, and I think it's really hurting them. And a long tour of Australia, I mean, a long flight, right? Coming from Australia to India, they just don't look settled, and
yeah.
they're missing big players. It might just be net practice for India, but you still have to beat what's in front of you. You can't take any opposition lightly.
Exactly. Any team in any given day can beat each other, right? So you
Yeah,
can't really say that these are international teams, right? And you, like we saw it in World Cup and stuff. Ireland came out of nowhere and chased that massive total down with just one guy batting through, and that happened. So you can never. Even a couple of games ago, Bangladesh versus Afghanistan. Of course, Bangladesh is a more
yeah,
superior team than Afghanistan, but then how Bangladesh like losing 6 wickets for 45 and then coming back from there to chase the target and stuff. So these kind of things happen in international cricket. So you can never take any team lightly
yeah.
when it comes to any of these international games. And it was a clinical performance all over.
Yeah, good to see from India's point of view. And then if we just talk about the PSL, Islamabad winning, and they have a shot at the finals. They're playing a virtual
Yeah,
semi-final tomorrow against Lahore. Peshawar, I think, would be a bit disappointed because they chose to bat first, and we saw yesterday Multan as well. Batting first actually helped. The ball gets a bit, what do you call it? I wouldn't say heavy, but it becomes a bit difficult to bat. It becomes slow, especially the spinners have a lot of say in these pitches. But for Islamabad, there was no looking back. Peshawar took it till the end, but again, our boy, what's his name? Azam Khan hitting
Azam
a few
Khan.
sixes. This time he hit
Yeah.
Wahab Riaz. So I remembered you at that time. So there's an improvement there.
No, if you actually notice that game, and I do see like certain things that Wahab Riaz took like calls which were a little contemplative and stuff, right? Like
Yeah,
the front line bowlers, the top two bowlers who opened the bowling, he bowled them out 8 overs straight, almost, right?
yeah,
And then he was left with three bowlers, and he kept the lines tight at that point. And then the three bowlers, of course, I forget the name of the person who took the 3 wickets, the three important wickets.
Salman and Irshad.
Yeah. So that guy, of course, he bowled well, but the rest of the bowlers didn't complement that well. Like especially Wahab Riaz, he got hit badly. He's
Yeah,
known for his short bowling, right? He was literally bowling in the death overs. He's known for his short bowling and the Yorkers and stuff. He was bowling half trackers. He wasn't bowling any the bounces that he was trying to get. They were going all wide and stuff. So he wasn't there playing to his strength. He was like trying to play with the mind of the batsman and stuff. And actually, if you notice, Azam Khan was today like he kind of proved his mettle in terms of he's like, bring it on, I'm here kind of thing. That's
yeah,
what because there were wickets falling down from the other end. Alex Hales played beautifully in the second innings. First innings, of course, they had a amazing like they had a decent score. I wouldn't say that it wasn't a decent score or anything. It was a very decent
yeah.
score.
It's good sport.
I think they missed a trick in their bowling by they should have kept at least a couple of overs when they saw that the opening bowlers were giving such a good start. They should have maybe taken someone off from the attack and brought in someone else at that point, right? So those were some of the things that I noticed at least in the game, and they could have done better. Of course, it was a game to lose for Peshawar rather than Zalmi boys rather than Islamabad winning because they kept the momentum and they just couldn't
Yeah.
finish it at the end.
Yeah, Wahab Riaz, I think he's been confidence in himself. Like he had a lot of belief in himself, but he went for 50 runs. Might have should have
Yeah,
tried someone like a Shoaib Malik on this kind of pitch where it is
exactly.
attracting spin, it is conducive
Yeah,
to spin. You should have tried something like that. And you're right. I think captaincy should be questioned in this game, and it did let them down because, like you said, it was a good score on this kind of pitch, but they didn't utilize it to their advantage. And
yeah,
with Azam Khan, I think you made a very good observation in terms of spin is easier for him. You can tell that with the strike rate today. Strike rate was 120 compared to 200 on his playing spin. But the
yeah.
fact that he fought it out and he still hit those fast bowlers for sixes, whether it was Wahab Riaz or not, he still hit those sixes. It took him a bit of time, but he showed that he belongs at least on this kind of level, and he is a match winner for his franchise, if not in the future for his country.
Yeah, absolutely. The only weakness, like even today, he had that weakness against the fast bowlers because
Yeah.
if it's
If you
coming
tell
in the slot, that's the ones that he was hitting. If it's coming in the slot, that's the ones he was hitting. Otherwise, he was struggling. He couldn't judge the pace. He couldn't judge the line and length that well. He was struggling. He was trying to like push it for single or something. So he has that weakness. He has to work on that. Against spinners, you always know that it's going to be basically him
Yeah.
always like hitting out of the park and stuff. He's more conducive to like playing spin rather than playing pace. That's something that is very noticeable, at least in his batting. But we definitely should be
Yeah.
looking out for him. Hopefully he can work on his fitness, man. That's the main aspect that he has to improve in his game. If he does that, then automatically it's gonna help the team and himself getting those chances.
Yeah, I mean, cricket is a funny game. I also agree with the fitness
Yeah,
side of things, but even with that kind of weight, he's winning matches on that level, on a PSL level, right? Still, it's
yeah,
not international, but we've even seen Inzamam, we've seen the likes of, other people who have bellies in play. So, yeah, I think fitness just helps the cause, right, in that sense, and you
yeah.
put less pressure on your legs and everything. Punter saying men in white, yeah, these days we're matching, man. This time you didn't copy me,
Somehow
or
we were matching.
this time you didn't copy me, but last time there was a slight delay in our start. And
Yeah.
yeah, man. One last game that I want to discuss was Arsenal versus Wolves. Arsenal winning in stoppage time, outstanding, and they've really made it difficult now for Manchester United to make it to the top four.
Musi, is this down the track or chasing green arrows?
That's what I wanted to hear from you, man. Yeah, you get getting it back as that absolutely brilliant. Vinay, any any other cricket matches that you wanted to discuss? I think the Lahore versus what's it called, Islamabad match will be tomorrow. So very back to back for Islamabad. Lahore,
Yeah.
they just got outclassed by Rizwan's captaincy and what's his name, Dahani, the quick bowler. I think they just got
Sahani,
outclassed.
he's competing with Imran Tahir is what I feel. Every time he picks up a wicket, he's just running somewhere or the other. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like pointing to the stand. He's pointing to the batsman that's coming in. I don't know what
He
he's
went
doing.
all the way to the dugout or something in that last wicket he took yesterday. I
Oh yeah,
remember.
he went little. So that's why every time he points out to the person, and I don't know if it's in the stand, someone is sitting there and watching him, or if it's the next batsman who's coming in. It's
Yeah.
always like he's always trying to like point to a person when he picks up a wicket. So
Yeah, but Punter for some reason wants us to discuss Canada versus Bahrain. Your a good friend of yours was I don't know if he was man of the match, but he picked up 4 wickets.
he was the man of the match actually
He
in
was the
that
man
game.
of the
Yeah,
match. You know that our very close friend Punter dropped his catch in the
yes,
semi-final.
yeah, and the crucial semi-final. We had the game. We had the game, but someone chose to bowl the last over, and
But yeah, if you look at it, someone like him is just crazy that we saw him as a batsman, as a world class batsman in our league, and he's actually a bowler. So it's crazy how international cricket is, right? I know this is a different kind of level to maybe India Pakistan level. Of course, it's a very different kind of level. This is a T20
yeah.
qualifiers. It's good to see him perform like that. But overall, Canadian cricket more than me. I'm still learning about it. Very disappointed for Canada. They haven't qualified from what it looks like. So very disappointed with the way they played and throughout the tournament.
The first game they won against Philippines, like it was an easy game for them.
Yeah,
Whoever, Mark's Matthew Spore scoring 100, and then Rayan Pradhan also scoring. It was actually his fourth 50 back to back in international cricket,
yeah,
and he was among some of the legends actually in terms of scoring back-to-back 50s in T20s in international cricket. So that happened, and then the second game they had a decent start, and then they should have won that game, but it
Yeah.
was like UAE just thrashed them with 9 wickets in hand at that point, and their bowling wasn't up to mark. They had a good, decent total. They scored up to 165, which is not something that you relate towards, especially Canadian teams and stuff, but they are giving those fights. Against Nepal, they struggled a lot. They came down to they got all out for 88 or something, and then next game was Bahrain. They won that game. It was like weaker teams, of course. They do better against them, but they need to keep challenging those stronger teams that are already up there.
Yeah, I know, especially with these kind of teams like the UAE, Oman. I feel they really improved their teams, especially Oman. I think in recent years, last 3 4 years in the associates, they've done a brilliant job, and it's good to see them performing well.
Yeah.
UAE, I think they were good, and they had a very a weak kind of spot. Maybe 2 years they didn't do as well, but now they're coming back. Someone like a Chirag Suiri, I saw him play in the
Yeah.
GT20. I think you saw him as well. He's a good opener, and they have some really good. There's Rohan Mustafa
Ron
there as
Mustafa is there.
well.
Ron
Some
Mustafa, he
experienced
plays.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
and
are investing a
you
lot,
would say they're
especially.
a bit more polished version of Canada in that sense. Maybe just experience, maybe because they've also in Dubai they do play the likes of Australia and stuff in warm up matches, so that gives them a bit more exposure compared to the Canadian boys.
The thing is, they have invested on their infrastructure. That is the key aspect that
Yeah,
is lacking, especially in the Canadian cricket. Because if you actually notice in Canada, max cricket, the maximum number of maximum time span in a year that you can play cricket is about 4 to 5 months, right? You're
yeah,
losing up on almost 7 months of cricket that is not happening, right?
yeah.
And then if you actually notice, all these players are playing in US and stuff, and they are getting decent contracts and everything to go play there and stuff. So they are getting those opportunities and stuff, but it's the lack of infrastructure that is lacking in Canadian cricket. If they improve, and that is the main aspect that is not there in Canadian cricket. Like US has invested a lot in cricket now, so they are someone to look out for at this point in terms of associate nations at least, as well as someone like Oman, UAE, and all these things. You see, this tournament is happening in Muscat, and you see the kind of stadiums they built. We don't even have a single stadium in Canada at this point. And when there are tournaments like GT20 and stuff came, they're dropping pitches and doing makeshift stadiums and
Pop
stuff,
up
right?
stadiums.
Yeah, it's literally like pop-up culture at this point for them, right? And they need to do better in terms of that. And till that happens, like here, if you see in Canada, there's so many immigrants, especially Indians, Pakistanis, Sri Lankans, and other cultures and stuff who play cricket a lot. And
Yeah.
it's like soccer being played in India, right? You'll see soccer being played everywhere, but India not doing that well in soccer and stuff. Similarly, the same thing is happening. Canada has so much talent. It's just the right infrastructure and the investments that they need to do to make it better.
Yeah, I think the infrastructure will have to improve. UAE have done a really good job in that. If you see their academies
Exactly.
as well, of course, it's
Yeah.
the home of ICC, but the grounds that they're building, I went and saw this time even next to the Dubai International Ground. There's a couple of grounds which have they've starting to work on. So there's
Yeah.
going to be 2 3 grounds now, like which will have international cricket, and that will help the
Exactly.
pitches as well. Otherwise we've seen in the World Cup what happened in Dubai, so that will
Yeah.
really help. So they're investing full on in UAE, and they're reaping their rewards. With Oman, I think you made an excellent point because I seen them really improve in the last 3 4 years. But the stadium and infrastructure you're talking about, investing in the cricket, focusing on it, it's very important. From Canada's point of view as well, you could say weather is also an issue, but in these kind of countries, hot weather also does become a problem. But still, winter is winter, man. Winter you can't do anything. Hot weather you can still try to do something, but
See, the
winter.
thing is, like, if they even move out of Ontario and then set up something in BC or something, right? In
Yeah,
Vancouver. Vancouver has about 8 months of summer almost, right? They
yeah.
have better weather. So at least you can plan accordingly in those kind of things. And right now, even the president of Canadian cricket is from Vancouver. So why
Yeah.
not invest something over there where it is there are more possibilities of having these kind of things, especially when a sport of this kind is actually getting very popular in this country.
Yep, 100%. And I think that wraps up the associate cricket. So the teams who've qualified are UAE, Ireland, Oman, and one more
I
team, right?
I didn't see the
I
table.
think these are
I
the
have to
teams,
double
but I
check.
know UAE qualified for sure, and UAE has won the tournament. They won the final today against
Okay.
Ireland. They chased, I think, 160, so they've won that tournament. They're in for sure, but I think Ireland is also qualified because two or three or four teams go through, so two for sure.
Yeah,
I'll just do a on that, but
I'm not. I
also
didn't see. Yeah, I
no
didn't see
problem, no
that
problem.
part, so I'm not sure. Yeah.
No issues. And then South Africa versus New Zealand has started. South Africa elected to bat first. They haven't lost a wicket yet, 8-0. So that will be an interesting test match. Again, New Zealand is a monster at home. It will
Exactly.
be difficult for South Africa. But again, they need the likes of Elgar, who's batting right now, Bavuma, and Markram. I don't know if you saw, Elgar had some stern words again. He had some. Words that we didn't know with Rabada, which we didn't hear, but he said again with Markram, he had a few stern words. He needs Markram to perform, and he's
Yeah.
at that age now, 25, 26, where he should be more consistent. So let's see
And
what
Markram
Markram.
was a previous captain of South Africa, so a lot is more expected from him.
Yeah, Markram, Van der Dusen, Bavuma. It's not a bad middle order, but in these conditions, it's going to be a challenge.
They are missing Peterson, who played really well, especially in the Indian series. So that's something that they're missing.
Oh yeah,
But they
Keegan,
are missing
your
him.
boy.
I think Hamza is in for him. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, so that's something
that's
that
very
they're
true.
missing. Yeah,
Yeah, New Zealand are missing Williamson, but no problem, man. There's no Ross Taylor as well. There's no problem. Ross Taylor is retired. Williamson is injured. No issues in these conditions. They'll find a system and they'll work with it. Especially when you have a fast bowling lineup like that, even without Bolt, it's completely fine. You have Matt Henry there, Jameson, Wagner,
yeah.
Henry, and Sadi. Sorry. So there's always options there. So New
No,
Zealand
it's
will
funny that
again.
no, it's funny that Wagner only plays in New Zealand, maybe Australia, but other other countries and stuff. He's not taken into the first 11, but he's a
Yeah,
match winner by himself.
I find that surprising because even in India, I would like to see him play. Like he's someone who can, add that extra pace, get something out of the dead pitches as well.
Yeah,
He's that kind of bowler hit the deck. So that's very surprising for me. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. It's been a one-sided India-Sri Lanka game. It's been an interesting PSL so far, and we have also the Women's World Cup to look forward to. So we'll do our research and come back to you with that. That will be a fun tournament, which is starting March 4th. So that will be fun as well.
yeah. New Zealand gave a thrashing to India in the first game. I think.
India won the last one day, but it's been
Yeah,
very difficult. I don't know why Jemima Rodriguez is not in the squad. She had an outstanding 100 tournament and everything, and till now I haven't seen her name in the squad. So I'm very surprised.
yeah,
Hopefully,
she's
in
not
some
there in the squad.
yeah,
I
very
think
sad.
there were some failures on the international circuit that she had, and that's why she fell out of the order. But she had amazing tournaments, 100 as well as the BBL when she
Yeah,
played
I guess
and stuff.
they look at her more as a T20 player, but her, Shefali Verma, these kind of players are they're match changing players. Like they can
Yep.
turn the momentum even in a 50 over game. So let's see how it goes. The last World Cup, it was India England final. It ended in agony for India,
Yeah.
although they could have chased down. So let's see what happens in this tournament. There's some really good teams. Again, Australia, England will be favorites, but let's see. In these conditions, New Zealand might have a say as well.
You
Susie
can't count
Bates.
out West Indies as well, man.
Yeah, can.
Doughton always comes in and scores. Like, so you can never like as long as she's there, there's always a possibility of West Indies winning.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun tournament, but thank you, Vinny, man. It's a great night for you. What a night at the Emirates to top it all off, and India won as
Again,
well. So
is it
very
chasing
exciting.
Maras or down the track?
Lacazette, man, amazing. So I can see that you pulled out your Arsenal top and you're wearing your undershirt right now. So
Sure. Whatever you want to say, just say. Okay.
But yeah, it was a crazy
Doesn't-
night at the Emirates. So people who do watch football, go and watch the highlights. They're great time for Arsenal, and yeah, not
so
so
are
good for the
we
next
are we
United.
promoting Chasing Green Arrows? Do you want me to give a promotion speech for Chasing Green Arrows
So
right now?
Punter is asking you, Anushka as Goswami or Taapsee as Mita. Punter is our Bollywood friend. He hangs out with all the Bollywood stars in Bombay and everything. So he always needs to, what's it called, involve the
What about,
Bollywood
what about
some.
Anjum Chopra?
Oh man, but yeah, it's good. You're gonna see a lot of people there. If you're asking me for the movie, I'm looking forward to the Tapsi movie. It's just that Mithali is from Hyderabad, right? So it'll be good to see that background and everything. I'm biased from that side, and she's been the Tendulkar of women's cricket for India, right? Like there's been a lot of criticism recently, but in the past she's done so well. She's been playing for so long now. So I think this will be her last World Cup. I thought the last one was her last World Cup, but this will be her last World Cup. She's still captain of the 50 overs,
Yeah,
which
she
is
is captain. I think
crazy,
Harmanpreet is vice
which is
captain, and
great.
Harmanpreet is actually under. She's under the scanner at this point
Right.
as well because she hasn't been performing that well.
Yeah, and yeah, she's not been performing. And the last innings that we remember of hers was that 175 in the 50 over World Cup in 2017
Yeah,
against Australia.
she had an excellent
That was
BBL. She did have an excellent BBL, and I think she was the man of the woman of the tournament. I'm not sure. I think she became the woman of
oh
the tournament for BBL and stuff. So she did have an excellent BBL. So hopefully she can replicate that form in the international cricket as well.
yep. Hopefully, man. Thank you so much, Vinay, for joining me. I will catch you soon and take care. Enjoy the rest of the games.
Yep. See you, Musi.
Take care. See you.